Oh, I tell you, I know I'm not good looking. One time I went to a prostitute, she told me she had a headache. Another time I went to a prostitute, I dropped my pants, she dropped the price. It ain't easy being me. I know I'm not good looking. I know I got, I'm ugly, I got dressed this morning and I caught the Fruit of the Loom guys laughing at me. Oh, I tell you, baby. Oh, I tell you. I want you to be the mother of my children. How many do you have? Well, man says, I have a magic watch that tells me you aren't watching. Wait. I have a magic watch that tells me you aren't wearing any underwear. And the lady says, but I am wearing underwear. And the man says, well, it's about an hour fast. So how do you like your eggs in the morning? And he says, unfertilized. Okay. The CIA was accepting applications for an assassin. They narrowed the finalists to 2 men and 1 woman, and they gave them the final test. They gave each of them a gun and brought the first man in and pointed to the big wooden door and said, right in there is your wife. Go in and kill her. The man dropped the gun. He said, I can't do it. I just can't do it. They brought in the second man and said, your wife is behind that door. Go kill her. The second man walked to the door and put his hand on the knob, but he couldn't do it either. Finally, they brought in the woman and told her, behind that door is your husband. Go and kill him. So she went through the door and they heard the gun start firing. 1 shot after another for 13 shots. Then they heard screaming, crashing, and banging on the walls. Then everything was quiet. The door opened slowly and the woman came out, wiping the sweat from her brow, and she said, some idiot loaded the gun with blanks, so I had to strangle the bastard. 3 gents in a bar are discussing a female acquaintance who is trying without success to have a family. The first guy says, I believe she is impregnable. The second says, I think she is inconceivable. The third disagrees, saying, you're both off the mark. She's obviously unbearable. As is the case with most women, unbearable.
Okay, before you start the next joke, I gotta run, people. Y'all have a good
Okay.
one.
Bye. Y'all be good, man. Y'all be good.
Have fun. All right, ready? Have at it.
Y'all be good, man. Honey, there's something that's always bugged me about the children. I can't help noticing that out of our 8 kids, Ben looks different from all the others. I know it's a terrible thing to ask, but does he have a different father? Yes, it's true, he does. Please tell me, who is Ben's father? You, dear. Wait, what? 8 kids and oh, for God's sakes, woman. Oh, my God. Well, I tell you, with me, nothing goes right. One time I almost fell in love with a psychic, but she left me before we met.
You saw you coming.
Yeah. Old man. So, how was your date with Edgar last night? Old woman. Well, I had to slap his face. Old man. Well, what? He tried to go too far? Old woman. No, I thought he was dead. I saw 2 houseflies in the kitchen today, both females. Well, how did you know they were females? Well, they were both on the telephone. The wife says, if you had to do it all over again, would you still marry me? The husband says, well, I guess so, if I really had to. The priest says, I'm so sorry to hear of Jim's passing, Mary. My deepest condolences. The widow says,
Oh, thank you, Father.
the priest says, it's a hard time. The widow says,
Yes, Father, it is.
the priest says, and did he have any last requests?
Yes, Father, he did.
And what was his last request, Mary?
Well, he did ask me to please put the gun down.
Husband, before I die, darling, I have to confess something to you.
I know all about it, darling. That's why I poisoned you.
Ooh.
Another psychic joke. I tell you, nothing goes good for me. I'm telling you. Well, I tell you, my wife is a lousy cook.
How so? How lousy is she?
Well, I don't think meatloaf should glow in the dark, all right? I'm telling you. I thought I had it solved. You know, I bought her a pressure cooker. Now we eat off the ceiling. In my house, nothing goes good in my house. In my house, we pray after we eat, okay? I'm telling you. I got the only dog in the world that begs for Alka-Seltzer. Now, why does an archaeologist make a good husband? Because the older you get, the more interested he is in you. The wife smacks her husband upside the head, and he says, "Hey, what the heck was that for?"
That's for the piece of paper in your pants pocket with the name Mary Lou on it.
He explains, "Well, that's from 2 weeks ago. I went to the races, and Mary Lou was the name of one of the horses I bet on." She smacks him in the head again, and he says, "Now what in the heck was that for?"
Your horse called on the phone today.
I'll tell you, the secret of our marriage is that my wife worries about the little things, like what we should spend money on and what we should do on the weekends. And I worry about the big things like energy policy in Canada and NATO. I tell you, it's the way it is. I tell you, my wife came home the other night and told me to take off her blouse. And then she told me to take off her skirt. Then she told me never to wear her clothes again.
That's a joke.
That's a good one.
My husband gives himself bubble baths by eating beans for dinner before he goes in the tub.
Yeah, that's the inexpensive way to jacuzzi.
Instant jacuzzi.
Well, I'll tell you this, Catboy. The only thing I have in common with my husband is that we were married on the same day.
That's good. I think it's probably about closing time. That's
Okay, let's call it.
a good batch of comedy, though.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, hopefully we'll have a bigger crowd next week. I'll see you guys then, all right?